Hello. So, what's one's at work? Yesterday we decided we went to the store. He's like, well, we'll have some chocolate covered strawberries. So, we'll make some chocolate sauce real quick. Nice, easy. We got some lactose-free milk right here. This one can't have lactose. Pour a little bit of that in there. And you can use any kind of chocolate. And we got, I don't know, I guess that's milk chocolate, something, I don't know. Yeah, I see the milk, something, I think that says milk. I don't know, but see. Yeah, these are cheap. Like 3 of these was 100 nooks. So, we pour a little bit of milk in there. We're going to let the milk get hot a little bit. It's not safe to use a knife to open stuff up, but, you can use scissors, but if you use a knife, you always be careful. So we're just going to add the chocolate in slowly, because we don't want it to be too thick. And we can always add milk in as needed. Try one. That's milk chocolate. More milk in there. Now you want to keep on stirring it, because the chocolate's going to stick to the bottom and burn. Now, the easiest way to do it is you have a double boiler, you have a pan with some water underneath, then you have a pan with some water, and then you put make like a little pan on top, and then you boil the water. But so you want to cook this on low. If you ain't got a double boiler, you always want to cook it on low. Turn up a little bit. They have electric stoves here in Norway, and back in the States we have gas stoves. So if you got a gas, you always start it out low. But with electric, you want to turn on about medium. You gotta turn mine on 4, just to get it hot. Then once it got hot, then I turn it down to 2. Here we're going to make some the chocolate sauce. You dip the strawberries in, put them on like a pan, put them in the refrigerator or freezer, either one. If you got room in the freezer, you can put them in the freezer. If you don't, you can always just throw them in the refrigerator. Okay, chocolate starting to melt. You just want to keep on stirring it. You don't want to stop stirring it. As soon as you do, your chocolate's going to burn. And then once you burn the stuff, and then your whole, you done ruin the whole thing, because everything, any kind of food you cook, you burn, soups or sauces or anything, you burn. You done ruined it, because then you want to burn flavor. Even though that burns on the bottom, you still gonna have that burn flavor in it. It looks like all that chocolate right there is all melted. Scrape off the bottom a little bit. See, I'm constantly stirring it. Don't stop stirring it, because as soon as you stop stirring it, you want to mess it up. Put some more chocolate in there. Like I say, you don't want to add too much at a time, because you can always add more. Chocolate's starting to melt pretty quick now, so And now is the very critical time where you just want to keep on stirring it. If you got to, you can pull it off the burner for a minute and make a mess. I love making messes. See, it's going to keep on stirring it. See, it's going to start sticking to the bottom a little bit. That right there actually looks pretty good. It's not really sticking. Good. That's because I keep on stirring it. You're going to scrape off the sides, around the sides. Anywhere you see chocolate, if you need to, you can just always turn it like this. Like I said, if you had, if I had a double boiler, it'd be a lot easier. You can just put it in a double boiler, then you ain't got to worry about stirring it as much. But because I'm cooking it on the heat like this, it's starting to get a little thicker. The chocolate right there melted. I'm going to add some more chocolate to it. If you get it too thick, you can always add more milk. Always add more chocolate, but you want to start off with a little bit of milk because you don't want to have it too thin. Not unless you got a bunch of chocolate and you already know, like, I got so much chocolate. But you don't want to make it too thin, so you can always add more chocolate as you go on. See, this chocolate's starting to melt really good. Take a spoon, taste it. It tastes like chocolate milk. That's a good thing, huh? It's starting to stick around the edges a little bit, so you want to scrape off the edges, in the middle. You can use a whip or a whisk or whatever you want to call it, but I'm using a spoon. See, now you're able to start smelling the chocolate. Like I said, you just want to add a little bit of chocolate. Because the thicker it gets, the less chocolate you want to add. You can use these for chocolate covered strawberries, chocolate covered bananas. We did buy some bananas, I guess at the store. Because today for breakfast, we had yogurt. It was a strawberry, blueberry yogurt. We had blueberries. We added some bananas and some granola. For breakfast. That was actually pretty good. I'm going to share that. I'm going to share my breakfast on Facebook. So it's starting to get a little thicker. I pulled it off so I can look around and scrape the sides and the bottom of it, so you don't want to burn it. You don't want to mess it up. So it's starting to get a little thicker. We need it like, it's pretty thick. Like I said, if you had a double boiler, which you get a pan about like this, you fill it about, halfway up with water, so maybe a little less than halfway, and then you put like a metal pan on top of it, and then you can mix it like that. That's a good way for beginners to do it, because you're likely to burn it, and it's good. See, we're only about 2 bars, that's why I'm just adding just a little bit at a time of milk. If you need to leave for a second, you can always pull it off to the side, or if you're scared you're going to get it, if you need to scrape the bottom of it to where you don't burn it, just pull it off to the side, or you can pick it up, and then depending on your hands on how much heat you can handle, I can handle heat, but you know, I've been in the restaurant business for a long time. Oh, we have those. If we have a little code on here, we can scan. I don't know what that says. Probably win something. Oh, I love win stuff. I'm gonna add this chocolate in here. I said my burner's still on number 2. You know, if you need to stop, you can always pull it off and mix it around like that. And bring it back over. Chocolate's starting to melt pretty quick now. The quicker it melts, the more you gotta pay attention to it. Pull it off, scrape the bottom a little bit. Like this, make sure you get all the bottom scraped. Because it's going to stick to the bottom. Made another little mess. Okay, that's one thing of chocolate. It's all melted. So we're going to put another thing of chocolate. My knife. I gotta get my knife. There we go. Like I said, you know, it's easier to use scissors. You know, you're likely to get cutting. It's good, but. As you can see, it's starting to get a little thicker. Still not thick enough though, but it will be. Just takes time. You just want to do it slowly, because if you speed it up, you know you'll mess it up. You see how I'm always scraping the sides, scraping the bottom. You can always just pull your, like that, and then go over here. That. See, it's starting to stick to the bottom a little bit, so that's why you just got to keep on working with it. I think Small was wanting to help me out do this whenever she got off, but I figured I'd do it now while she's at work. We was gonna make lunch, but we're gonna have liver pate. I think it's liver pate. It's a Norwegian thing. Yeah, for lunch. So I don't know how we're gonna do that. So Swan's gonna teach me how to do that. I think it's liver pate. Something like that. I think it's kind of like chicken liver pureed in a can or something like that. I'm not for sure, but I want to try it because I love chicken liver, and I love all kinds of liver. I like food. See how I keep on stirring it. Pull it off. Grate the sides and the bottom. You see it's starting to get thicker now. See how it's starting to get thicker? That's good. We want it to be like that. Like I said, you don't want to stop stirring it, especially if you're cooking it on heat. The double boiler, like I said, ain't a problem, ain't bad, but I'm cooking it on heat. double boiler takes longer to do. And I like to have this done before 4:12 when Swan gets off work. So that's why I'm cooking like this. See how it's starting to get thicker now? It's not thick enough, but I think I'm probably use about half of this. Bar right here. But you know, over in Norway, they have grams and kilograms and liters. This is 200 grams. So if I use half, that'd be about 300 grams chocolate I use. And I'm not sure if this is lactose free or not, but one says that she likes this chocolate. So all the chocolate's melted in there. Once you melt all the chocolate, pull it off. Grate the bottoms and the sides some more. That. See, it's starting to get thicker. But we want to be a little thicker. We want to almost be like a chocolate syrup type. Or like, not chocolate syrup, but like chocolate. So I'm breaking them up in small pieces, you know, in little cubes. You know, the smaller the chocolate is, the quicker it melts. Yeah, I had to get me some Pepsi Max. And I tried it until I went to Norway. Nah, it's actually pretty good. So I think once this chocolate melts, you know, I pulled it off. The milk is warm enough to where, you know, it's melting the chocolate. I'll turn my burner off for now. You remember, like on electric stove, just because you turn it off, this is still hot. See, that's still hot. So, you know, you want to treat it as it's still on. You know, if you use gas, you know, you can turn it off and then, you know, it's off. But, you know, electric, once you turn it off, it's still going to be warm for roughly about 15, 20 minutes or so, depending on, you know, how high you had it on. See, I got it off the burner, but like the chocolate's actually melting, so I'm going to keep it off the burner. Because the thicker it gets, the more likely it is to burn. Scrape the sides, and you just keep on stirring it to help melt the chocolate, and so it don't stick to the bottom. Now it's starting to get thick. It's starting to be almost perfect. We still have a few more pieces of chocolate in here we got to melt. See the chocolate sticking to the side of the spoon. About where we want it. That actually tastes pretty good. Tastes like chocolate. That's a good thing. And chocolate should taste like chocolate, right? Still a little bit more pieces of chocolate in there. We'll scrape the bottom and the sides. Said always scrape the sides because it's going to stick to the sides. Scrape the bottom. You see how I got thicker. Still a little bit of pieces of chocolate in there. You can feel, you can feel the bottom thick, so like you just want to keep on stirring it and get it around like that. You scrape out the bottom of it. Take out the bottom of the spoon so it can help melt it. Yeah, you can take a drink of Pepsi Max. I was always like a Pepsi or Mountain Dew drinker. But and when I came here in Norway, I tried Pepsi Max. I was like, well, that's not bad. I like the lime one too, but I like lemon better than the lime. I think the Pepsi Max lemon's better than Pepsi Max lime, in my opinion. There's still little pieces of chocolate in there, so I'm just going to keep on mixing this up. Like I said, I got it off the burner, and this side right here is still hot. So I pull it off the burner because it got thick, and like I said, the thicker it gets, the more likely it is to burn. Still a little small piece of chocolate in there. Stop it burning just for a second. It's off, but like I said, it's still a little warm. Still warm. Hey, don't try that at home. There's still just a little bit more pieces of chocolate in there. This chocolate ain't really, it actually ain't really too bad. I like this chocolate. You know, they was on special. You know, 3 packets, 200 grams for 100 nooks. So we got 600 grams of chocolate for 100 nooks. We got 2 of these, and then one with some nuts or something there. I don't know. It's one's favorite kind. This kind of chocolate, you know, we got some of that to eat. way we recycle food. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this little green thing off. And I like to use a spoon. You know, some people cut it, but if you cut it, then you're taking away a lot of the strawberries. You see it right there, it's perfect right there. See, look, you know, see, that didn't take away no strawberry off that one. Here, you just take up underneath, take right where that green spot is, pull it up. See? And if you take a knife, you cut it, like right there, you're taking off a lot of strawberries. Yeah, a whole quart, a whole pint or whatever, you know. Or you know, if you got a gallon of them, if you're cooking for a bunch, you know, whatever it is, you're gonna waste that much strawberries. Take them underneath, pop it up, just pops right up. Just this food garbage can's clean. I cleaned it, you know, before I put the food bag in there. There's our chocolate sauce. Okay, so what I did was got a little bit of the strawberries, put some chocolate on them. It's not enough chocolate, so I added a couple more little pieces of chocolate in there. You want to mix it up to get it thicker. See, now it's starting to get thicker now. You know, eat a couple pieces of chocolate as I'm cooking. 4, 5, 6 in there, 1, 2 in my mouth. 4, 5, 6 in there, 1, 2 in my mouth. So now it's starting to get really thick now. I like how that's looking. Still some chocolate in there. And then my burner's still off. It's starting to cool down now. So it's been probably about 20 minutes. But you know, I'm going to keep it off because the chocolate's melting. As long as the chocolate's melting, then you're fine. Because my chocolate sauce is still a little warm, still warm enough for it to melt. If you need to, you can turn the burner on a little bit. But you know, if you're using gas, just turn it on very little. If you're using electric, turn it on 1 if you need to. But you know, as long as your chocolate's melting, you know, slowly. You want it to melt slowly. You don't want it to melt fast, because the faster you melt it, the quicker it's going to burn. There's nothing wrong with, you know, spending. There's nothing like spending, you know, 20 minutes making something, then you burn it the last second, then you ruin it. for example, like the chocolate's not really melting right now anymore. So I'm gonna turn this on one. And then it's gonna let it get just a little warm. And then it should start melting here in a minute. You know, electric, you know, take a little bit to heat up. The gas heats up right away. Once the chocolate melts, it gets a little warm. Yeah, it's starting to get warm. So now the chocolate's starting in the middle a little bit more now. Still not hot yet. Still just a little warm. Don't try this at home. Because you might burn yourself, and it'll be liable if you burn yourself. See how thick it's getting now. Still got about 3 half pieces of chocolate. Put 3 pieces of chocolate in there. They're all about half, maybe 3/4. So right there should put me right where I want it. Now after I put the chocolate on the strawberries and some bananas, we have bananas too. Bananas are good for potassium. Bananas are good. I'm still mixing it. Pull it off. Get the bottom of it, the sides, because the thicker it gets, the more it's going to stick. I pause the video here and there because I don't want to bore you guys, but just sitting there cooking. As long as you get the idea of how to do it, that's all we're trying to do, is get you guys to get the idea of how I know how to make stuff. There you go. Starting to melt. A little bit better now, so we're going to turn this off. It still says hot. It's still warm. And the gas does cook quicker than the electrics do. But they also cool down quicker too. electric, you always want to pull it off a lot. So you can scrape the bottom of it. Starting to melt a bit better in there. Off. I'm gonna use some real quick. I pulled it off, and the chocolate's still melting slowly, which is good. We want it to melt slowly, getting thicker. And it does no good to rush stuff when you're cooking, because then you'll end up messing it up. You want to take your time, especially when you're making chocolate sauce or for some other things. A whole bunch of other stuff. My burner's just a little warm. It's not too bad, but warm enough where it's just keeping my chocolate sauce just warm enough to melt the chocolate. We're going to use a little fork. Pull it in there. Oops. There you go. That right there looks perfect. That one turned out good. And that one didn't drop. You roll the strawberries in your chocolate. Get some bananas. Then we'll get a cutting board. We'll cut our bananas in fours. Roll the banana in the chocolate. There. You have to use a fork to get it. Put it in there, you can roll it in there. And use a spoon or fork where you need to do to get it out. It's messy. Still a little bit of piece of chocolate in there. Pretty much thick enough. Taste. No, it's good. You always wash your hands. The rule of thumb, you wash your hands for 20 seconds. A good thing to do is you know how to teach your kids to wash your hands. You do old McDonald had a farm. Do one verse of it. It's pretty much like the rule of thumb. I'm just getting a little thicker, just because the bananas, strawberries turned out pretty good with the bananas. They were, still see the banana in them. I want the whole thing to look chocolatey. Still like 3 little pieces of chocolate in there. There's 2, and then there's one right there. And then we'll get this. So once it looks like it's not starting to melt no more, then you can turn your burner on. 1 or 2. Mine's on 2. Right now I'm just going to get it hot. Then once I get it hot, then I'm going to turn it off again. Okay, I melted the chocolate a little bit more in there. A couple little pieces I put back in there. when it's all melted. Pull this off the stove. Still have more chocolate if we need it. That right there looks better now. So roll your strawberries in the chocolate. I'm using spoon and a fork so I don't get chocolate over my fingers. But it is finger licking good though. Chocolate. Yep. Back over there. Do these bananas again, just because I didn't get enough chocolate on them. The chocolate sauce was a little thin. We got some strawberries in there, got some bananas. I'm gonna do some more bananas. I'm gonna cut them in fours. Easy way to cut them fours. You do half, and then half and half. Oops. Little flip through. I'm cutting the strawberries and bananas. I'm cutting them completely. You got toothpicks. You can put a toothpick in there, and then put them in there. If you're having like family get-togethers or something, have toothpicks in there. And then people can just take the toothpick and then pick out what they want with the toothpicks. If you want to be fancy. Got 2, 4, 6, 7. I'll use another banana. Or I'll use one more banana. We got one more banana. Might as well use the last banana up. Cut it quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do it like that, or you can do it the way I was doing it. I'll show you 2 different ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way to put the chocolate on your bananas or your strawberries. figure we're going to have this, and then we made some whipped cream. And Swan made some whipped cream. We're going to put some whipped cream on top. You know, after the chocolate gets hard, I'm going to throw these in the refrigerator after I get done. And then we're going to put some more cream on top of them. I'll show you the aftermath. And we're done. We get ready to eat them. I'm going to do some more strawberries. I use my spoon to get the strawberry core off for the chocolate, even though I had another chocolate one in there, but and I use my feet to kick over the garbage can to where I didn't touch it. And if you touch the garbage can, you gotta wash your hands afterwards. That's why I just use my feet. Yeah. And really, you know, if you want to save money, this is easy. This is even cheaper than buying the little thing of chocolate like this. And this way it's cheaper. And I spent, you know, on this right here, spent probably about $1 total for the milk and the chocolate. You know, buy one of these right here. They're a couple dollars. So you can even use this for like chocolate sauce, or ice cream, or icing. It'd be good on icing for cakes. You know, you just get a little thicker for the icing cake, but it'd be good for icing on cakes. Your chocolate milk, you can use it for chocolate milk. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. Let the chocolate get hard on there, and then once the chocolate gets hard, later on the night for dessert, we'll have it for dessert, and we will show you what it looks like after for dessert. But now, what we got right here, nice good chocolate covered strawberries and bananas. All right. Thank you for watching. You know, like and subscribe. You know, we're having many more videos coming up. Alrighty, love y'all. Hit like and subscribe.